Earthy Man here. I'm going into our greenhouse here at Ion Exchange today, and what I'm going to be teaching you today is how to have a very successful planting using our native live plant plugs. Today I'm going to try to add some color to an existing prairie garden right outside of our office. I'm going to select these cardinal flowers in front of me, and I will be showing you how to plant these in that prairie garden. We'll just walk right on out here over to our existing garden, but I've got some spots available in it that I want to fill in, and cardinal flower being a red plant will add a lot of color in August and September to this planting. Now, this planting we started last year. However, before I get started on putting these in the ground, I want to explain to you exactly what you need to do in order to have a successful planting. Number one, you need to prepare your site. This area over I'm looking at where the flowers are right now used to be this lawn right here. So the first thing that we had to do was get rid of the existing vegetation. You can do that in several different ways. You could use a tiller, till it all up, make sure everything is dead, or you may decide to spray it with Roundup and kill everything off. Or you may just put black plastic down or newspapers over the area if you don't want to spray it and you're totally against any spray. Then you can kill off the existing vegetation by placing newspapers over it and leaving that in place for quite a while and killing off the existing sod. Once the sod is killed, it is not necessary to till up the soil, because our plugs are specially designed and can be inserted into the ground without tillage, and I'm going to show you how to do that here just shortly. Now, after you have killed off your sod and everything, and your site is ready to be planted, you need to consider where you're going to plant each species, and that's just called a plan or a design. You can design it yourself if you feel comfortable enough doing that. If you don't, then you can give us a call, and we certainly can design a garden for you. Sometimes people want the short plants up front, the tall plants in the middle, or toward the back, so it all depends upon your needs as to where the plants would go. And this is a cluster here, a grouping of purple coneflowers that we planted last year about this time in July, or may have been after that. But those were just little tiny plugs when we put them in the ground, and you can see just 1 year later what kind of growth you can get on those. So getting back to your site preparation, what I like to do is go ahead and use mulch over the entire site first, and put down your mulch pretty thick, 4 inches or so of mulch, and that will hold the moisture in, especially in a year like this at the drought that we're having. So after you've spread mulch over your entire, it couldn't be bark chips like this, wood chips, it could be any type of organic matter to get a cover to prohibit weeds from growing. So what we're going to do after we get the mulch spread, we are going to start planting. Now, after you've gotten your garden designed and located the spots where you want to cluster your native wildflowers, I would suggest that when you do cluster these and plant them, that you plant them with like species in uneven numbers, 7, 11, 21, in a grouping, so that when they do bloom, they really show up well. So I'm going to show you here how we actually did this bed. After we spread the mulch, we cleared back the mulch here where I'm going to be planting a plug. Now, these plugs are as I said before, cardinal flower. And I'm going to show you what these look like here. Let's just pull one out. And you can see the fresh root system. You'll also notice that there's water coming off on my fingers. Make sure that your plugs are well watered before you ever attempt to put them in the ground, okay? And the way we're going to insert this plug into the ground is a unique system using a dibble bar, which is very simple. And you can even make a dibble bar of your own at home. But right here is the dibble bar that I'm going to be using. And it's shaped like the plug itself, see? So it's going to make a hole in the ground. That's why we don't need to do any tillage, you see, because this is all the tillage we need is to insert this dibble bar into the ground like that. Pull it back out like that. I'm going to take this little plug. I'm going to put it in the ground about a ½ inch below the surface, very lightly. Pack it in just a little bit. And then I'm going to replace the mulch around my newly planted cardinal flower. I'll plant a whole bed of these around here with probably about 21 of them up here. And come August, September, I'm going to have beautiful red color. So make sure that you keep this new plug moist for the first 2 weeks, and then it can take care of itself. And you're just well on your way to having a beautiful perennial native wildflower garden using ion exchange native plugs, all collected in the wild originally and guaranteed to grow because they have thousands of years of genetics behind them to handle extreme temperatures, moisture conditions, and you're going to have something to look at for years to come that requires very little maintenance when you got this much mulch cover. So folks, I can help you do it, and just give me a call. Earthy Man here, July, hot day.